In 2017, two college students who hadn't graduated yet, but they hit the whole Guomen face. In just 8 minutes, the family seat was taken away by countless people. Millions of netizens watched the scene without crying for her. On the night of the wedding, the girl put a little bit of cinnabar on her lips. Her eyes were full of melancholy. The border guards suddenly arrived. The general had no choice but to fight for his life. It's hard to predict what will happen next. The girl put the red dress on her white dress. The light was on and she went to the outside of the house. The city gate was lit up with the wind. A group of women quietly stood by the door. The woman who was wearing a wedding dress also saw the good man. She wanted to hold her hand and quietly let it go. The general was very determined to turn around, even though there were a lot of things in her heart. How could a woman's love be able to withstand the pressure of the house? The girl was in a dark wound, but she could only talk. Time passed by day by day. The day of the engagement was finally here. The girl put on her wedding dress. She put on a red dress and walked out of the house. Many women behind her were also sealed away. In the cold wind, she looked through the autumn water, hoping that her husband would come back. The time has come. Suddenly, a war horse was passing by in the forest ahead. The girl was afraid of the danger. She seemed to see her husband riding on the horseback. She was about to slide the big thing back to her side. The horse was getting closer to the farm. A horse with a low head was trying to come back. The horseback was empty as if it were wild. Only a red battlesuit was left. Every time she walked, she saw the grass next to the red dress. The two women were slowly sliding down. The lanterns in her hand were also sliding down. In the snowy sky, the first woman took off her red dress. Her red wedding dress was floating along the wind. She showed off her long-wearing white robe. "If you come back, I will welcome you in red. If you don't know me, I will pretend to be a guide." One horse carried a red cloak and came back. One by one, the red dress was thrown in the wind. One by one, the broken wife lost her husband. The snowy sky became a heavy burden that people could never forget. There is no line in the film. Only those who truly understand the culture of the 1,000 years of China can understand the deep love in this silence. China has been invaded by many in history. A generation of people used fresh blood to defend the border in exchange for the safety of thousands of small families. The emotional movement from different angles seems to have brought me back to that era. The reason why we can enjoy life and death in peace and stability is because someone is helping us to move forward.